Babysitters, what seemingly normal parents had dark secrets. I was 19 and totally broke when I moved to the city, like eating ramen for every meal broke. So when I saw this babysitting ad on Craigslist for weekend nights paying $200, I jumped on it. The family seemed cool. Bree and Kevin worked in tech, had this sick loft downtown with floor-to-ceiling windows. Their kid Finn was 6, kinda hyper but sweet. He loved dinosaurs and would talk about T-Rexes for like an hour straight. First couple weekends were normal. They'd leave around 8, I'd watch movies with Finn, put him to bed by 9:30, then just chill on my phone until they got back around 2 a.m. Easy money. But something felt off about that apartment. It was too clean, like scary clean. No toys lying around, no random junk, no family photos anywhere, just white walls and expensive furniture that looked like nobody actually lived there. There was this door near the kitchen labeled storage, always padlocked. I figured it was just where they kept their expensive stuff or whatever. But one Saturday night after I put Finn to bed, I heard this low humming sound coming from behind that door, like a machine running or something. It creeped me out, but I tried to ignore it. The next weekend, I couldn't stop thinking about it. While Finn was playing with his dinosaurs, I started looking around the apartment. I know, super sketchy of me, but I was curious. I found this cookbook in the kitchen that felt weird and hollow. Inside was a ring of like 5 identical keys taped to the pages. My heart was racing. I knew I shouldn't, but that humming sound was driving me crazy. That Saturday after Finn fell asleep, I grabbed the keys and went to the storage door. My hands were literally shaking as I tried each key. The third one clicked. I opened the door and my stomach dropped. It wasn't storage. It was a whole room set up like a hospital. Metal bed in the center, bright surgical lights overhead, a camera mounted on a tripod pointing at the bed. There were trays of medical tools, IV bags hanging on a rack, and these leather restraint straps attached to the bed frame. At first my brain was like, okay, this is some weird kink thing. Maybe they're into role play or something. But then I saw the wall. There was this huge board covered in printed photos of people's faces. Teenagers mostly, some younger. Under each photo was a name, blood type, and a number that looked like a price. Some photos had red X marks over them. I felt like I was gonna throw up. I pulled out my phone and started taking pictures of everything. The board, the equipment, all of it. My hands were shaking so bad I could barely hold my phone steady. Then I heard the front door open. They weren't supposed to be back for another 3 hours. I heard Bree's voice call out my name. I froze. Complete panic. I could hear footsteps coming down the hall. I shoved my phone in my pocket and turned around. Bree and Kevin were standing in the doorway, blocking my only exit. Bree looked at me with this cold smile that made my blood turn to ice. "We were really hoping you'd be smarter than this," she said. Kevin reached behind him and I saw him pull something from his jacket. I didn't think. I just ran straight at them, shoving Kevin as hard as I could. He stumbled backward and I sprinted past them down the hall. I could hear them yelling behind me. I ran into Finn's room, slammed the door, and locked it. Finn woke up crying and I felt horrible, but I grabbed my phone and called 911. I was literally screaming into the phone that I needed help, gave them the address, told them these people had like a torture room or something. Finn was sobbing, asking what was wrong. I could hear Bree and Kevin pounding on the door, trying to break it down. The cops showed up maybe 4 minutes later, but it felt like forever. I heard the officers yelling, heard Bree and Kevin trying to explain it was all a misunderstanding, that I was a crazy kid who broke into their private space. But then the cops saw the room, and everything changed real fast. More cops showed up, detectives. They took Bree and Kevin away in handcuffs. They took Finn too, but gentle, with a social worker. Turns out the whole thing was way darker than I even thought. They were part of this illegal organ trafficking operation targeting mostly undocumented teenagers who wouldn't be reported missing. The photos on the wall were victims. Some had already been killed, and Finn wasn't even their real kid. He was a boy named Gabriel who'd been kidnapped from his actual family almost 2 years ago in another state. The detectives told me my photos helped them connect the case to 3 other locations doing the same thing. They found documents on Kevin's laptop with contacts, buyers, whole networks of people involved. Gabriel got reunited with his real parents. I had to testify later and the whole thing was traumatic as hell.